The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
Octo Nation, it's Charlie. I'm going to be your host for today. Today we're doing a user request guy by the name of Grind Buy Sell. He's a long-time subscriber. He's actually one of the last ones that won the last silver. He's a cool guy. He wrote me and said, "Hope all is well. I wanted to ask if you've seen any interest in shedding light on stocks that may pump due to the price of Bitcoin jumping. If you can compare these two against each other, Riot and Mara. I am new, but from the numbers, I can see that the articles I have read, I think Riot is better for one main reason, and it's because of the higher hash rate and that they are capable of, and the balance sheet looks way better than Mara. If you look back on the past 5 years, you can see what happened when Bitcoin did a bull run. So the pump is massive. The onboarding of the new users into crypto mass has been huge, and once mainstream FOMO, fear of missing out, happens, all and everything will break loose. So what these plays are companies who actually buy the things that mine, the machines that mine the Bitcoin. So these are companies that will buy massive warehouses and get thousands and thousands of those miners and just line them on up. And so you can invest in those companies in the regular stock market. And what do? They invest in Bitcoin because they're producing Bitcoin. So this is kind of a cool play. I like these weird supplemental plays. So I decided to dive on in. I've been diving on this thing for a long time now, and I think I finally got some puzzle pieces put together. I like it, and we're gonna jump right in. So Riot Blockchain, who are they? What do they do? They've got 200 million in debt right off the bat. We got to put that out there. All these companies that I have found too, like, they're not really profitable, okay? Right this second. But the deal is with this play is they've got to constantly upgrade these machines, these little video card machine thingies that make the Bitcoin. And so they're consistently buying more of the new cool ones that are coming out, but they're always, of course, hoping, just like gold and silver, that the price of Bitcoin goes up. Because when the price of Bitcoin flies, these stocks fly too. And in fact, the multipliers look a lot better than what Bitcoin has done in the past too. So that's why I liked it. So this one called Riot, this is an actual warehouse of theirs. You see they even have these cool space, big refrigerant things blowing on them. And they just run them in this massive warehouse. Just thousands of them. Look how crazy this is. I mean, it's almost unbelievable. It's like a full size of a Costco just running and mining Bitcoin all day long. Just absolutely crazy. So in August 10th, they reported the second quarter financial results. They got recent operational and financial highlights and increased revenue to 4.3 million from 3.8 million, so that's good, for the 6-month period ending in June 30th, compared to the same 6-month period last year, increasing mining margin by 33.5% for a 6-month period ending June 30th, compared to 20% during the same 6-month period in 2019. So they're increasing efficiency and getting more done compared to last year. Bitcoin mining hash rate capacity is increased to 566 PHS in October 2020 from 101. So that's over 5x they've increased that. So utilizing the next generation Bitmain S19 and S19 Antminer Pros. What does that mean? That means that they are increasing efficiency and machines by 5x, which is fantastic. The Bitcoin mining hash rate, we've already went over that. Excluding stock-based compensation, decreased SG&E and A expenses to 3.6 million for the 6 months ending there, as compared to 5.1 million during the same 6-month period. So they're decreasing debt. They're doing better, but they're still dealing with it. So they had a loss. Let's take a look. So they ended up taking a $14,867,000 loss. So that's not good, but it's not terrible either. It's not too huge. A company like this, like I said, they're just ramping up because everyone knows that Bitcoin is on its bull plane right now, and so they're gearing up, which is good. So here's some new articles that have been coming with SEC filings. This is basically just saying, like, the last thing they did, they bought 8,000 new S19 Pro amp miners. which are the bad boy Porsches, and then they're announcing further progression in the company's transformation delivery, another 1,000 S19, a week before that. So they're just buying more and more, and they're doing good. Something super funky about this company, which was like crazy to me. They used to pretty much be like a pharma biological company or something, biotech startup in 2000. It actually used to be called Aspen Bio. All right. Then they changed the name to Aspen Bio. They changed it to Venaxis. And then in 2016, they acquired Bioptics and changed the name to Bioptics. And they reorganized, exits biotech business, adds new directors. So it's still biotech stuff. Then they changed in 2017 in October, so like 10 months after that, then they renamed to Riot Blockchain, which invests in blockchain related businesses, and they bought coin mining equipment. The stocks jumped 23% to close $8 for a double prior for the week. So, the stocks jumped when they switched categories to blockchain. I mean, you can't make that up. That's just insane to me. They got a new CEO a couple years ago. Stock was climbing because it hit an all-time high because Bitcoin hit an all-time high. So it basically is going to follow that for the most part. In 2017, they also raised $37 million in a new stock offering. Then there's a guy who's got 30,000 shares worth almost $1 million. Yeah, he's still got them. So this goes into more information about the old businesses they had. It's just nuts. But this is what matters, right? Okay, so right now we're trading at $3.73. This thing, beginning of the year was only trading at like 70 cents or something like that. But it's definitely kind of entered into a bull phase, all right? But look what happened back in 2018 when Bitcoin went up. It was all the way up to like 45 bucks a share, $46 a share. This is all-time high. So why are we talking about all this? Because we want to go from where it's at now, 374 to 45 again. Because if we do, that's massive. Okay. And what people are saying is that Bitcoin is probably the next massive jump it's going to have, which it's already doing decent at. Is going to be bigger than the last one. So if it is, chances are this will go even higher than 45. Even if it only goes halfway to 45, it's still going to XX your money, multiply that money. So I like seeing that. The previous business and the biotech stuff, that is not cool, right? That's just insane to me. But regardless, the main thing that matters is now they've fully switched over from that, and they've got the proof of it. They got big warehouses. This is a legit company as far as you can tell. They're also on the NASDAQ. These two are both on the NASDAQ, okay? So basically that means pretty much everyone can buy them. They're common, so it's not like OTC like some of these miners we're talking about and all that, or the green power bus, which can't even buy yet. So the hype has already kind of started, and people have known about it since here too, right? So people know about these. So this is from StockTwits here. This is showing that they've got 33,000 people watching this stock, which is a decent amount. That's pretty good. So that's saying that these people are paying attention. They've probably invested or have thought about investing. This green versus red graph, the green is showing most people are bull. Most people think this is going up 94%, where the red is just the people that are bear that think it's going down. So that's kind of interesting to take a look at that. These both have been going down the past couple days, weeks, because Bitcoin went down too. So it's definitely in a bull stage, but it had a little dip, kind of like silver and gold. And so people sold off everything kind of related to it, just like silver and gold. It's kind of played about the same way. For big investors that are in, there's some names that stood out here. I mean, Charles Schwab has got 23,000 shares. BlackRock, we all know BlackRock, right? They've got 141,000 shares of this. Susquehanna International Group has got 444,000 shares of this. There's Bank of America. there's just tons of people that are in this, which is good. So the big money is already on this. Let's move on to the next one, which is Marathon Patent Group is their official name. They've only got 32 million shares, but they've got zero debt. So right off the bat, this already looks a little bit better, okay? Because the less amount of shares, less debt, Looking at these two companies' websites, I'd say it's frustrating trying to find info. They don't even have like any PDF investor presentations they've made. Even if they were to come up with a crappy one and pay someone like $500 to make it, they could have easily done it, and they could probably have more investors. I think it's insane that they don't even have an investor presentation, especially since they're geared towards the younger generation, because it's Bitcoin and all that. It just blows my mind. My conclusion after diving in as much as I had is I bet that these two companies are related, and it'll probably never come out and be public, but I'm willing to bet that some of the dudes who are actually involved in this probably own both or part of both, or own a company that owns part of both or something like that, because both their websites are pretty much the same. They both are not good, and just the whole layout, the feel, certain wording and all that I was noticing was kind of the same too. It's kind of sketchy, and that's the other thing about Bitcoin that has always kind of put me off is it's just a sketchy market. It just is. Like, I don't know, it's like the black hat of investors. Like, there's just so much fake stuff out there. Like, for instance, because of this video, now watch down in the comments here in a couple days, we are going to have so much spam from spammers because we're saying the word blockchain and crypto. There's going to be people in there that are going to be offering everybody, free crypto or whatever. Click here and yada yada yada. I don't know. It's just weird. Okay, it's kind of a little freaky to me, but let's move on. So these guys are blockchains and decentralized digital ledgers that record and enable secure peer-to-peer transactions without third-party intermediaries. So they have the same thing. They've got a big warehouse with a bunch of those things. The blockchains are secured by miners that use powerful computer networks to secure and verify transactions. All right, so facilities, they've got one in Granbury, and they've got 1,400 Bitmain, the S9 miners are currently in operation. They've got 26,700 square feet of data center in Quebec, Canada. Utilization of 2.0 MW, approximately 19 PHS, all in sustaining ISC. Mining capacity, currently mining Bitcoin, but systems can be configured to mine other digital assets, cryptocurrency using the SHA-256 algo. So it kind of looks like the same thing. It even looks like the same miners. They're all green, just big old empty warehouse full of these. The other one definitely looked like a Costco that went out of business, but this kind of looks like maybe a smaller office building, not high ceilings. Crazy though. So same thing with them, Marathon Patent Group announced $23 million contract to purchase 10,500 S19 Pro miners. So again, they're buying the same miners. These are, I guess, one of the best ones you can get, and they're not really showing any profit because of that. They keep trying to upgrade, and that's the problem with trying to be a miner in this space, is that you have to upgrade to keep pace, because the new machines become more efficient and can produce more Bitcoin faster, and you got to start weighing out electricity used and all that. So I don't know, it's a lot to deal with. You can check out though that this is the searching for Mara right here, and you can see that it's not until recently they have just spiked in search interest. Okay, so it's kind of like we were showing yesterday about the trend sets. But this month alone, stuff is going up, and the past couple months, same on the other one. But why? Because Bitcoin is going up, okay? It's the same reason. So on StockTwits, how they doing? They've got 37,000 watchers, so they're kind of close on the watchers. Same thing, the sentiment pretty much looked the same. This is just showing the price, but again, they both went down recently. This actually went down 17.13% on Friday, which tells me it's probably a good time to get in, right? We don't want to get in when it's too high. But this is a localized recent chart. This is from August 6th when Bitcoin was a little bit higher. They were actually up to $5.10. and you can see they're on a downward trend now, and now they're sitting at 272. Okay, so even if we were to, if you're to buy in around 272 and it ended up riding up back to 510, which I'm sure is going to happen with Bitcoin, you're almost doubling your money. You're almost 2xing your money right there. And where are we sitting right now? Well, we've got an exact trend line from back over here where it gapped up. With Bitcoin, we've got a gap. We've got a line there that's drawn. It already tagged it again, so it's got support, and then it's ridden it back. And then what happened here, we got tagged support, tag, and then it finally broke down to fake out the bulls there. The bears also. And it went below it, but guess what? It consolidated and went back up, and now it rode right at 272. So I think we're sitting right on the consolidation line, even from history. So I think that's probably a good time to look at getting in. So this is from a further perspective out. So this was back when, 2017, when we had the last run up. Last run up for Bitcoin, this one actually hit $40. All right, so before though, this has made it all the way up to 140, higher than that, but the last run in late 2017, it hit up to 40. So even if it hit that, it's absolutely huge multiplication. That I think the risk outweighs the reward on these. So Marathon though, don't get it twisted, they're not perfect either. So 2019 they lost 1.6 mil. Then this year so far, they're at a net loss of 3.2 million. So on paper they don't look good, but if you look at the macro picture that Bitcoin's going up, and they can still mine this stuff, the big payoff could be massive because again they keep buying these new awesome miners. So they also have a questionable account. So this was from a site called investorplace.com. If that wasn't enough, it said Marathon has several financial red flags. Its previous auditor, BDO, abruptly resigned without reason in late 2017. The management replaced the company with RBSM, a far smaller auditor with only one relatively junior CPA in the state. And long-term shareholders have repeatedly lost from Mara's financial shenanigans. In 2017, the company wiped out 81% of existing stockholders in Mara when they bought Bitcoin mining equipment from a company that analysts suspect was owned by the company's former CFO. The company then diluted shareholders another 20% in their 2019 acquisition of another 6,000 miners and another 23% in July 2020 when they issued another 7.7 million shares. Because the company is so unprofitable, it's forced to keep diluting the shareholders simply to maintain its current Bitcoin production levels. It doesn't, I don't like that either, but I do like the potential multiplication. So that's the only reason I'm still in here looking at this. But again, this is investors that are in it. We got BlackRock again, okay? I thought it was funny though, they only have 320 shares of this. I don't know if they missed a comma in there or something, but that's not a lot. But then again, it's like it shows Morgan Stanley is 38 shares. I don't even believe, I'll never fully believe these numbers of the actual shares that insiders and other big investors own. It just seems insane to me. Why would Morgan Stanley buy 38 shares of this? Right? It's like worth $70, $100 or something. Yeah, but then it shows like Vanguard. Come on, they own supposedly 57,647. And these are from a separate site. This is not from Mara itself. I pull these from the most trusted site you can get, which is Fintel, that I know of at least. But they have tons and tons of investors though too. Citadel Advisors, 192,000 shares. So I want to show what. So here's Bitcoin. It just shows what it's doing right now, and why I'm saying it's in bull because of the lines. The guys who are big on Bitcoin will say it comes in 4-year cycles. So in 2017-ish, it had its big bull. About 4 years later, it started a bull here actually. And so they're saying that we're basically on the cusp of hitting the next massive bull run up. You know, it starts the bull and then it does its monster spike up. It also broke this, you know, this line here, this green line, and it looks just totally bulled out. Again, you can see the red in here though. You know, it did sky, then it you know, people took profits, and then it's consolidating. It's sitting right in the middle of the consolidation line though. But there's no roof to this right now until Bitcoin gets to almost to 18,000. So this is something that I absolutely love looking at, and it's something we always, you know, try to harp on, even myself, you know, trying to keep myself doing this, is buying when stuff is not cool. All right. So guess when Bitcoin was the coolest? So exactly when it was peaking right here, you see, is when the most searches by far were how to buy Bitcoin. So guess what the price was when people were trying to buy? All-time high. Okay. So the point is to try to get it on the next bull run, which this exactly almost looks like what's going on here. It looks like it's repeating. It's going to consolidate a little bit and then start really running up. So would you rather buy in here and then hit it, you know, somewhere in here or something like that, ride a little bit and then let it ride up, or would you rather buy when it's like way up here? So that's a good way to look at it. So what do you guys think of this? I mean, do you think these are too sketchy and you just don't want to deal with it, or you maybe just want to buy a regular Bitcoin? You know, the thing with Bitcoin though is like, you know, you take a look at it right now, it's going for like 13,500. So historically it's only about 2x, you know, 2.25x. But these other ones have gone like way over 10x. So I think it'd be good to get, you know, maybe a mixture of them all, you know, just to have, you know, because you never know. I mean, Bitcoin could go to 100,000. We don't know, you know. I mean, there's no reason it shouldn't, because it's not like it's degrading, and they're not, I don't think they're making, you know, they're not diluting it anymore or something like that. So what do you guys think? I think I'm going to get a piece of each one of those companies and just kind of ride it, whatever. I think no matter what, as sketchy as they are, I still think they're going to go up when Bitcoin goes back up. And, you know, the potential is just so huge. Am I going to dump my whole portfolio in there? No way. But, you know, I'll put in a percent for sure. So let me know what you think about it. So what's on my watch list for tomorrow / buy list? I'm definitely looking at that green buses, okay, the GPVRF that I did a video on. I think it was yesterday. Definitely going to be getting into that. Again, that's something I think that, you know, I've already seen it in the comments. People are like, I can't buy that on Webull or Robinhood. That's what we said in the video. I mean, that's exactly why I'm saying that I want to buy it, because people want what they can't have. And not only that, I think the long-term picture of it is going to be good, and I think it's going to end up being massive, profitable, all that. But regardless, there's people that are going to want in, and then once that goes to NASDAQ, that's when it will even fly even higher. You know, it's going to be crazy. And then also, you know, the two we talked about, I'm sure I'm missing a couple, but if I remember them, you know, I'll put it down in the comments or on Twitter or whatever. Yeah, and speaking of Twitter, if you're not friends with us on Twitter, please add us on there. We'd greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to put out last minute plays and information. In fact, I've got more information. I'll just bring it up now. I was going to do a separate video, but here we go. So Trump considers fast tracking the UK vaccine. So there's a company here that somebody said the person who added, they're basically just calling this person the person, is basically saying that the Republican heads told the Democratic heads that they were going to use AstraZeneca vaccine in September. Mr. Munich added that the administration expected the EUA for a vaccine before full approval. Said the person who added that Ms. Pelosi warned that there should be no cutting corners in the vaccine process. You know, of course we don't want to cut corners, but let's take a look here. Treasury Secretary Munich did not make any comments regarding the AstraZeneca, nor is he familiar with the specific. So Munich's denying it. He said, I never said any of that. But why are we talking about this? Because there is a stock for AstraZeneca. So a person said that the Republican heads told the Democrats about AstraZeneca. This could be totally false. I don't know. watch it, but I'm sure you're probably going to see people talking about this next couple days. If you do read this article, I'll put it down below. This is from ft.com. This is the guys who launched it. The secretary believes and has always believed that any decision on the vaccine candidates and any possible EUA is up to the FDA. EUA basically means like emergency letting a medicine go. So usually like the FDA has to go and like test everything and then approve it, and then it'll be FDA approved. But if you pull a EUA, it's basically saying we have to get this out without FDA approval, and we're just going to push this out. So could be interesting. This AstraZeneca, I'm sure, will still spike tomorrow, but guess what? That means people are going to be taking profit too. So if you do jump in this, try to ride this hype train, just be super careful. Where's it sitting at now? Friday, people sold off at 2.43%. You know, it's rode up since March. I don't know if this has already been hyped. Think I've heard of it before, so I'm sure. Yeah, because they've actually already done testing, I think. Now that I'm remembering this logo here, the company's actually already done testing, I believe, only on a select number of patients. But, you know, of course, the FDA and everyone else is like, no, we want to do more testing because, you know, they don't want Trump to come out and say he's got a vaccine. They want it to get to the election with him not having a vaccine, because then it looks like he wasn't able to handle it, you know. So, of course, the Dems are thinking that play also. But regardless, could probably make a little bit of money on that tomorrow too if you want. But if you have any more plays you want me to take a look at, put them down in the comments. Even like this last one, I thought it was a great recommendation, a cool one to take a look at. So what other plays you guys buy in tomorrow? Let me know. Have a good rest of Sunday. Bye-bye.